The YouTube channel Lessons from the Screenplay recently made a video on symbolism in Bong Joon-ho's masterpiece Parasite. He talked about the viewing stone and smell being two symbols used in the film. These symbols, used multiple times consistently, create motifs, or recurring symbols to show a point. These motifs combine then to create themes in the film. If you want to know more about the structure, I suggest you check out his video. It's quite amazing. Anyway, he mentions a quote from John Truby's Anatomy of Story about symbols being concentrated meaning in a story. Now, that's a big message. Any kind of symbol in a film, any object used multiple times throughout a film, can hold weight and meaning in dense amounts. That's why today I want to talk about one symbol he didn't talk about in Parasite: stairs. Bong Joon-ho loves class difference. It's one of his favorite themes to tackle, and along with the stone and smell, Bong uses this idea of verticality to show class difference. Other ways we might see class difference in films and cinema now is through environment, like Chiron's environment in Moonlight, or horizontally as opposed to vertically, like the train in Snowpiercer, where the poor live in the back of the train, racing around the world, and the rich live in the front. Parasite uses stairs, and it actually reminded me of another film which used verticality to show class difference. This one, a classic from 1927 made by Fritz Lang, called Metropolis. This film, wildly ahead of its time, uses verticality to show massive class difference in society. And today I wanted to compare how Bong uses stairs to show his class struggle, and compared it to how Lang uses verticality as a symbol in his film. Metropolis was made right after World War I, where Expressionist art in Germany was at the forefront of pop culture, their dark, surrealist subtext taking hold on filmmakers' eyes who wanted to tell a more surrealist narrative, like Fritz Lang. He created a world where the rich live at the top of skyscrapers, and the poor live underground working on the machine. This actually was used in Snowpiercer as a similarity too, having the machine control the social society of people. A group of workers listen to a woman every day talk about hope for a savior, and when the rich want to oust the beginning of this rebellion, they commission a scientist to build a copy of the woman to convince them not to rebel. He instead, with his own motivations and intentions, programs her to continue to incite the rebellion. And the poor break the machine, they cause mass chaos in their society, and they ascend through the stairwells and the elevators to go and take over the rich who live at the top of those skyscrapers. Parasite works on a smaller scale than this. It's only the story of one family as they work towards the goal of gaining wealth and prosperity by going into a rich family's house, taking a bunch of jobs from the people that work there, and they gain the family's trust. It's not until an unexpected visitor in the middle of Act 2, which is the old housekeeper, shows up and all the expectations of the main family go haywire. Each of these films use verticality in a similar way on the forefront. The higher class literally live up higher in society, on tops of skyscrapers and on hilltops, and the lower class live lower in society. For the poor, it's underground in this giant underground city, and for the Kim family, it's living in an underground apartment. It's as literal as a symbol can get, as easy to comprehend as a metaphor can go. The higher you are, the more money you have. The lower you are, the lower you are in society. The way each director uses this, though, can change dramatically based on the grammar of the film. In Metropolis, Lang uses the stairs really only once. It's the end goal of the poor people to rebel and get up the elevators to the top. So when they get there, it's a triumphant moment. It's something that they've been looking for this entire time, and they finally get there at the end of the film. Parasite, the family goes from an underground apartment and gets up the hill in the first act. Where does the story go from there? Well, they keep going. Another one gets up the hill, and then the father gets up the hill, and then the mother finally gets up the hill in the middle of Act 2. And by that point, the Park family has left the house, gone on vacation, and the Kim family is living there as if they own the place. It's their dream come true in the middle of Act 2. The plot thickens when the old housekeeper comes back and shows that the house actually has an underground bunker. The old housekeeper's husband has been living there the whole time, and it shows just how much they've been leeching off the family too. After we find out this revelation, we also find out that the Park family is coming home from their vacation a little bit early, and so the Kim family is then forced to leave the house, go down staircase after staircase, and it shows their fall from grace. And it's raining, of course, and they reach their underground apartment at the bottom of the city, completely flooded after going down all of these stairs. But the film's not over. It's now only Act 3, and they have to ascend once again back up the hill to the Park residence, have a huge bloody climax, and after that, Kai-tak, the father, actually ends up back in the basement through an unfortunate series of events where he stays there for many years. Unlike Fritz Lang, Bong uses this symbol repeatedly. He creates motifs rather than an end goal. Both of them are still symbols. This idea of verticality in Metropolis is a symbol that they talk about and cut to many times throughout the film, but Bong uses it as its own motif. It happens so many times that these characters go up and down these stairs to show their true class difference, and then in the end, you finally see just how far they have to go to get from their residence all the way up that hill. Lang uses this as a symbol that's unachievable by the citizens until a mass uprising occurs. It takes that much to finally get up those stairs, and it creates a little bit of a different perspective as to what the societies look like at this time. You as the viewer know that in Parasite, they're going to get back to their place of glory again. They've been going up and down the entire time, and you just see them fail once more, and you wonder, how are they going to do it again? It's a classic rope-a-dope.
Then I'm going to hit back. It's a classic rope-a-dope.
But in Metropolis, you wait that entire film to see them get to this final goal of getting to the top of these skyscrapers. The use of ascending stairs to transcend class struggle is an amazing symbol. Throughout all of cinema, it's been used in many different ways and shown in many different ways. The idea of verticality being used as almost a literal symbol is definitely the easiest to understand. Whether it's an end goal for the protagonist to overthrow government, or it's just trying to infiltrate a family to find your own wealth, verticality can show the specific difference from one class to another. So I urge you, watch both of these films, start looking for more symbolisms in the next film you watch, and I'll see you in the next one.